Good morning, Keller Williams. Josh here once again with some more agent website information for you. In our last part, we created our websites, and now we're going to hop right in. We're going to be editing that homepage and really get into the meat and potatoes where you can start having some fun with it. So if you aren't through already, go ahead and hit Edit My Website under the Consumer tab within Command, and then we'll be brought to the dashboard. Yes, this may be a little bit intimidating for you, but it's really easy when we break it down. We have this quick start section right here, which is where if you need to quickly create a blog post, upload an image, upload a testimonial, a video, anything along those lines, that's just there for easy access. If you want to, you can search for all types of different things up in this top bar. We're not going to worry about that too much here. But if I want to create a new page, I can hit the plus sign here, and this shows me all the different potential page types that we have. It's currently limited to these 6, but as they continue to develop more things for the agent websites, we're going to have many, many, many more features there. But what we want to focus on today is going to be the home page. That is the most important page for your agent website, without a doubt. So we're going to go ahead and hop right into editing that page. And also this page has a lot of stuff we can play around with. So once you've mastered editing your home page, you can edit any page in the agent website with ease. It just takes a little bit of time to get used to it. So the first thing we want to look is at the 4 different modules that they have here. The first one is going to be the search module, so that's our property search. We have our listings list, so this is going to show us this ticker that has different properties that we want to feature. We have our testimonial section, and then our blog posts at the bottom here. So there's a bunch of different things we can customize, and we're going to kind of hop right in. So the first one here, the search module up here, you can customize this text to be whatever you want. I believe it normally says, let us help, or come find your dream home or something along those lines. I switched it up to your dream home awaits. We then have an option to add a carousel image. By default, it will be one of these 3 images it'll rotate through. But if I want to add an image, for this one for testing, I did my headshot. But if I want to choose a file, upload something new, let's go ahead and do this one. Don't worry about it if it doesn't say not multi-part. Then we just hit the upload button. And then it is going to show that image there. So let's say that by default, this page is going to refresh and it's going to show us both pages. And if I, for whatever reason, don't want my headshot there because it doesn't make any sense, I just hit the minus button there. And then once the preview updates, it's just going to show that lovely charcuterie board. You can put whatever you want there. That is up to you. But if you have multiple images here, it does rotate between the images about every 10 seconds. Past that, we have those fallback images, which we can just leave as is. If we don't like any of those fallback images, we can use the little eye icon here, which is going to hide it from the carousel for us. So let's say we got that all set there, got our text, got our image, and then we're actually going to go to the listings list. And this is the most complicated module here. Bear with me, it's a very cool tool. Same thing as above, we have our title, so we can change this to whatever you want. And then we have the description right underneath it. So check out my newest listings. You can see the page just refreshed and it says whatever you want there. But I don't actually like that, so I'm gonna swap it back. Oops. And then we have the listings type, how it wants to add those. For the most part, we're gonna suggest use dynamic, but we do also have basic. And the difference between these is one, the basic one, you get to list fully, say, hey, this is a listing that I want to add. And they don't automatically generate any listings. This means you manually have to add listings to your page here. And then we also have the other option. We can swap this back to the dynamic, which is going to automatically pull listings based off of some features. So the first thing you want to do is select a center point location. I'm just going to use my main office here. Reedham Drive Southeast. And then it says the max number to display in the carousel, 10, that's a perfect number. I'd say leave it right at that. And then you can set your search radius to whatever you'd like. Let's say I'm gonna do 5 miles search radius for that. And you can see the website updated on the right side. You can select whatever, whatever location that you want there is fine. And then you have the sort listings by, days on site. This is the days on MLS. All the information we see here is pulled straight from MLS. This is a good option. If you see a lot of duplicates, I actually find that using recently updated tends to cut down on those duplicate listings right there. If you want to show a specific set of listings or feature listings, we can do that here as well. So we see feature listing section. I have this Driftwood, this first property here. I don't know why I grabbed that one. It has no image, but that is what I set for my featured listing, so it will always show up first on the ticker. If I want to remove that one, we hit the minus sign. And once the page refreshes, we can see that featured listing is no longer there. So if you want to make sure, hey, I want these 5 listings always visible, you can add those featured listings there. They do have to be manually removed though if they do sell or anything along those lines. And then we have some filters for the listings, and so we can narrow down on what we want to be listed there. We have our listing categories, so sales, sold, rent, rented, active, pending, coming soon. For the most part, I'm assuming, well, you do your own business with these. Add those filters as you want. You can select your property types here as well. Bathrooms, bedrooms, home size, price, etc. Price is probably the one that you might want to have on there by default. So we'll go ahead and set this for $300,000 as a low price for it. And I don't want 8 million homes showing up. I don't sell $8 million houses, but I would have set we'll do 1.1 million and call that good. Oh, that's 1 2 view. That's 11 million. I can't do numbers right now. Anyway, you can set a price limit for these just to make sure that you have the appropriate market that you want to have. And the last thing that we can do here is a keyword search. This is a pretty cool one. I'm still figuring out some of the cool ways we can leverage this as well. But for example, if I wanted, maybe some nicer properties to show up there, if I wanted properties with a fireplace, if I wanted properties that are on a lakefront, I'm just typing the word lake. And that's going to add that as one of the filters. So you can see we have one within that range there. It shows up with a lake. I'm going to go ahead and double my search radius to 10 miles. Let that refresh and see if we have any other properties. Yeah, we have a bunch of properties. Oops, sorry, the draft refreshed on me. We have a bunch of additional properties that pop up here because they are lakefront properties. All right, and so we're gonna go ahead and scroll down here. Let's say we wanna do another, fireplace. We could add luxury is something we can add in there. That's a pretty interesting one when we do add luxury. It's gonna change our listings quite a bit here. Whatever, you can do what you want there. But once that's all said and done, you have your listing ticker that's all set there with any featured properties that you may or may not want there. The hear what others have to say, the testimonial list. This is where you can just upload testimonials. You can do featured ones. And you can manually put on here, say Bruce left me a good one, and then I had some other ones in here as well. I have a few other ones that are just dummy ones. I can add them as a featured testimonial. You can filter by, you can filter by the location where it's at, by star rating. That's something you may want to put the minimum star rating as like a 5, so you don't have bad reviews showing up. Things of that nature you can go ahead and do with that. And then the last section, which we will dive into this section a little bit more, is the blog area here. So I titled this Cool Things to Know. I'm just gonna put this in my blog. You can title this whatever you want, put whatever description you want in there as well. Just gonna show you down here. And then we can have the item stream. It can be, once again, dynamic, advanced, or basic. Essentially, it can look at the dynamic version looks at your blog posts and automatically populates this list here. I have 3 blog posts that I want to be featured, and so they'll always be here. Let's say I want to go ahead and swap the order of these ones. That'll change it so the big hero image is going to be for the video right here. But I can change this to be so many different things: blog posts, gallery pages, podcasts, what have you. There's a ton of features we can play in this, but for the most part, you're gonna leave it as dynamic. Whatever featured blog posts you want, you'll add right here, and then the rest of them will backfill depending on how many it says to display. So I have 4 displayed and only 3 featured, so the 4th one is going to be one that's generated based on the newest publish date. Cool, so that's what I have on the home page. That was a lot of information. I highly encourage you to step through, play around, at least poke around in each of these 4 modules, especially take a look at the new listings list, sort of figure out exactly what you want this to look like, how you target your market within those bounds. You probably know exactly what you want that to look like, but just make sure that is doing what you want it to do. Other than that, that is all we have on the home page. We're going to put a pin in it, and we're going to come back in and we will hop onto making some of those blog posts, some of those really cool edits we can do with that. And then last but not least, we'll be hopping into the open house pages and all the cool things we can do there. That's all I got for you today. I hope this was useful. I'll talk to you real soon.